Hello everyone. In today's video, we're going over signature blocks and why you would use one method over another when you're automating these types of signature blocks with Gavel. So one of the biggest things about becoming a Gavel expert is around becoming a Word expert and all of the weird quirks and fun tricks that you can do within Word to get the formatting and styling that you want. So we're going to go over one of these today, which is around the use of tables and why you would use tables perhaps over a tab method for creating signature lines when you're using Word and Gavel together, or just automating a Microsoft Word document like this. So the first method that someone might use when they are creating a signature block is this kind of underline and tab method. Now, what you can do with that is basically what you're doing is just saying client signature is going to go here, and then you're saying I want this to be underlined, and then you're just going here and saying tab as far out as you want your signature line to go. And then you would do the same thing for the other signature line. You would say underline, and then you would just tab, and then that way, you have this signature line. However, what happens on output if you have a signature page in your workflow in Gavel, so let's say, for example, it looks like this, and you want your client's signature to be like this, what happens with this tab method is you end up with this result, which you don't want because that looks crazy. So the way that you can make this look really nice and well formatted like this is to actually use an invisible table. So the way that you can have an invisible table, if we go undo lots of this stuff here, is what you can actually do is you could keep everything the same here if you wanted to, and all you need to do is just highlight these, go into insert, say table, convert text to table, and then just leave everything the same here and say okay. That's going to insert a table for you around the text that you highlighted, and then you can just readjust the size of your table however far you want this to extend out for your signature line. Now, we don't want there to actually be a table around this showing. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to table design, and then under table design, you're going to go to borders and make sure that yours is highlighted here. And you're just going to say no border. So that's going to make it invisible. Now, if you don't have view grid lines enabled, it will look like this, completely blank. Now, it's hard to do certain things that you're trying to do formatting wise if you don't see the grid lines, which are just the border around the invisible table so you can see things to do things in Word. So if you go back to this little arrow here and you say view grid lines, you'll be able to see more of this to work with it a little bit easier. Now, one quick note around this is I personally like this like client's name or signature to be flush with the edge so it matches and lines up with the text above it. So all you need to do that is you can highlight these two and then come up to this little marker up here at the top and pull it and drag it to the left so that it's nice and flush. Now, the last thing you need here is to re-add a border. So what you're using instead of this underline in order to create a line here is a border. So what we're going to do is put our cursor next to client's name, or you can do this on signature. If you do client's name, it'd be a top border of this particular section of the table, or it's a bottom border for this row here. So if we go back to our table design, we can go back over to borders and we can say top border if we are on this line here. So I'm going to say top border, and you can see that that border has been added. We can do the same process with the other lawyer signature box here. So I can say insert, table, convert text to table, okay. And then I can readjust and realign this table over here. And then I can make sure that I highlight these, drag this marker over a little bit so it's nice and flush. I can take away the borders, and then I can just add in a top border for this one to serve as my signature line here. So that's how you go through that process. And when you're ready to automate this document, what you can do is come over to your client signature, replace that using the Gavel Word add-in under Simple Variables. First, select your workflow that you're working with, go into Simple Variables, find your different variables that you're working with. So in my case, I'm going to have contact signature for the client signature. Just insert that here. Client's name, we're just going to say contact full name. Then you do the same thing here with lawyer's signature. Find the attorney signature section here. And then lawyer's name here is going to be the attorney's full name here. And then any other information can just be added below here as well. So that's how that is going to work. And once you run this, you're going to have that difference of the tab method and the table method. So just a quick tip for you to be able to have an easier way of formatting your different documents when you have a workflow like this. So I hope that's useful, and I'll see you in the next video.